few questions before we need to go.
You've talked about look-based tracking. You've talked about the lazy follow. A recent article, one of the last great ones on GigaOM, talked about the fact that in virtual reality, as a storyteller, it's your viewer that's in charge of the shot. So you're giving some kinds of guidance of where the shot can go, but it's the viewer that's deciding the storyline of the shot. Now, I'd like to hear a little bit more from everybody about how you design the in-world interface to give cues or guidance or to follow on a look.
Well, I mean, we had to use a mouse, which we weren't too happy about, but it was decided that that would be the easiest entry point for people with VR because they know how to use mouse. I mean, we found it was a bit of a step backwards, but we kind of understood because in a trade show environment, you have very little time to communicate how to use the interface. So if they can use it for the device, it kind of helps in that context. And the same with the 2D device that came up, was again enabling people to feel comfortable because it's almost like an entry step into VR. But I think as we move on, as I say, well, there's going to need to be an entire interaction language that's developed. And once people use lots of VR content, as with the web and everything else, they start to learn, what a home button is. Before 1990, people didn't even know what that meant. It'll give birth to a whole new set of interaction kind of paradigms that people will then internalize, and then hopefully we can then just use those to access.
It opens up a lot more, will push people to design more implementing solutions. Even in terms of storytelling as well, because as we saw earlier, we were demoing T-Rex to somebody, and they completely missed the T-Rex. They were too busy looking at a tree where the T-Rex was happening. And you imagine that as a director of a film, you're going to want to make sure and kind of encourage people to look in the direction, unless you can frame every possible angle, so it's beautiful. So, I mean, it just takes clever design.
Yeah, you're right. It depends on what content you're doing as well. So, for example, when we saw Columbia Road earlier, that is very, for us, like very entry level. Your kind of target market for that is going to be rather entry level, around shops, and they're kind of used to kind of clicking and going. So we've kind of created that very look and go into the shop, look. So through a target-based kind of system, almost like your portal, and that kind of way. But then with D65, you've kind of got your audience is more kind of techie, they're into like robots, you want to kind of do stuff, you want it to be more immersive. So you kind of create that lazy follow because you're constantly moving, you're kind of like weaving around things. So it kind of depends, again, user, like you're right about the levels, like you had that entry level, okay, kind of target based stuff coming up, then as you get more, you can use that. So we're working on that as well. Alex,
yeah, I mean, I think for us, because we're constantly trying to get new technologies in, and we turn around experiences quite quickly, we just kind of build on what we know works. All of the techniques that people suggested are totally valid. Like we're pushing with leap motion now just because I believe in it a bit more, because it helps to people feel, like I said, feel rooted in the scene. They can see themselves in that scene, interact with things more intuitively, but it is a bit flaky, because of the nature of the technology. But for me, I think going forward into the future, on one hand, yes, people will start to learn the interface language, but on the other hand, I think there's going to be a two-way thing. Like, the more people use VR, the more designers will learn. And looking at films and things like that, people don't just willy-nilly create these film GUIs. They're actual designers that go deep into the interface to create these GUIs to make them as realistic as possible. So I think that the fact that it's a lot more technologists and marketing people and creatives that work in virtual reality at the moment is kind of impeding the design of this kind of interaction to a certain degree, because once you get like hardcore graphic designers on there and interaction designers on there, you'll see the quality of that start to rise quite rapidly and quite extensively.
My next question is about underlying platforms. HTC has just announced that they're going to be partnering with the Steam gaming platform, and they're going to be launching their own device, presumably with HTC in it. So perhaps a little bit more Samsung Gear style or cardboard style. You mentioned using Unity. I think I spotted that you're using Nodal. There's a lot of gaming platforms that lend themselves well. Can you tell us about specific emerging platforms
about VR is like, how do you surf the web? No one's solved that problem yet. I mean, even Karl Maddix with Oculus with his giant brain was like, we're not even touching the browser yet in the Gear VR. They haven't even made, I don't think there's web browser in Gear VR yet because they haven't solved the problems yet of how do you surf the content. So, you know, it's a very interesting space with those questions, I guess. But I mean, for me, I think we're very interested in browser definitely, as a distribution platform.
Well, in saying that as well, like, you know, just thinking about it, you get more and more voice recognition into the artificial intelligence and the vocal recognition. You know, that in itself is like a really interesting way. You've got your mobile phone, you've got that technology in it that can you interact with your voice in this virtual space. You know, is that a way to be able to navigate?
HoloLens was heavily reliant on that.
Oh, okay, yes.
There's the YouTube card.
She said YouTube.
Yeah, it's really nice because the simple YouTube cardboard app that you get on Android is you've got a really nice screen in front of you, and you just look down. And I think it uses the onboard kind of Google kind of search, and you just ask what you want. And it kind of populates everything around you, and then you're just watching videos. Really simple, really works really well.
Get those people in a room just kind of going, watch videos of dogs, cats, Christmas. It's like, what are you doing?
But then also, you don't necessarily need to reinvent the wheel as well. Like you're saying, you go in there, there's a screen in front of you. That's a valid device having a screen in front of you. You don't need to populate the whole space with completely different content.
We were talking to a company this week, directors that are just getting really excited by VR, like they're film directors or TV, and they're talking about, well, how do I edit this and how do I shoot in 360? And 360 film's been around for ages, but this is different. You know, now people are really into it. You know, it's like the stereoscopic stuff as well. It's really interesting.
So my final question is about the experience. Alex, you mentioned the Sensorama, and there's this huge opportunity to do multi-sensory experiences. And a few of you have mentioned different projects that you're doing where you're bringing another sense into it. Can you tell us a little bit more about bringing in multi-sensory experiences? Other examples of things you see work well?
I've seen myself and Jon, and I don't know whether you went down to another company who work in VR as well, and we went down to an exhibition, by the way. We went into a shipping container, so we were already in the dark, already really scared, so that's kind of one experience, is like not being able to see as a first. And we were hoisted up in a harness and hung from the ceiling, so that was already one feeling of not being on the ground. Had our Oculus Rift on inside a helmet which had an oxygen tube underneath our noses, so we could have smells pumped in, and we also have the fan, which, as you said, creates such a different kind of experience and really immerses you. And what it was for Wrigley's, for 5 Gum, and what they created was 5 abstract worlds. So I was in like berry and cherry land, and I was using my hands in the using the Microsoft Kinect, floating around whilst having the smells come through me through this tube, and the wind going whilst kind of swimming through goo. And then next was Spearmint Frosty Land, which was spiky graphics, again, using your hands, looking around, moving around in the harness with the smell of spearmint coming through. So that was like an extra step in like this sensory experience. And I think smell is something that's kind of coming through next with that funny looking feel real.
Have you guys seen the Feel Real? Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. But
it's just,
who knows?
I think like counting the senses, we're kind of like ticking them off with the new kind of accessories that you want to speak about.
It's just knowing it's necessary, like you guys were saying, you know, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? If you, for an experience like that where you're actually tasting something, then yeah, scent is very important, you know?
Brands seem to offer a lot of opportunity there, but what about corporate, more utility, more
we didn't mention it, but for the Siemens project we had a butt kicker, which is basically a vibration device you attach to the base of the seat. And it's a gaming device, but it vibrates via audio. So when those big press machines are hammering the whole chair, in fact the bolts came off the chair, and welded the chair to the floor, but it was doing this, but their whole body was basically trembling a little bit with it. So just a simple technology of vibration which has been around for ages can really add a
But the engineers love that because they're used to being in a factory environment, and that's real. They're massive, these things, and they really shape the bones. So many people comment on, wow, I can feel it in my bones. Such a simple thing.
I mean, that's like our overriding thing for VR, really. It's an industry which is making new developments. Well, it's an industry in itself. You know, people are trying to make things just to support VR. You know what I mean? Whereas VR was kind of there just to support other stuff initially.
I saw
So-
it's on the Kickstarter one, underwater VR.
Oh,
No.
I've got some scuba diving on the
Yeah.
headset.
So they put mobile in a screen.
And you can, but what's the water? What's the guy do with water? I didn't read it.
I don't know. It's an underwater
Weird.
VR thing that
So
they
yeah,
have
like I say,
cancelled,
people are
so
inventing
we're
things.
okay. We won't be underwater with our mobiles anytime soon.
There's more headsets out there now than people use.
Over to you guys. Any questions? Are there any questions in this?
Yeah, how difficult is it for you guys to sort of be pushing the boundaries in terms of what you want to do? Because obviously if you're being funded for specific projects and they will and this kind of stuff, and to really say, look, you know, what we want to do on 5 months ago to start with and build this amazing thing for 6 months, you know, that is obviously feasible. So is there sort of funding out there, or are you kind of relying on these big brands with deep pockets?
Well, VR is very attractive to investors right now. We're talking to a couple ourselves. I found some stats, I don't know if they're true, too much, but there's a stat we found, I don't know, it's from an actual capital agency who do statistics of trends and stuff, and they predict that VR will grow by 13,000% in 3 years, which is 5 times the speed of iPhone adoption when it was released, because of obviously the number of headsets that are in development and potential user base. So in terms of, you can, I think investors will listen if you start to talk about VR, if you want to kind of, it depends on what the project is. We're looking at tools and things as well as content as well. But what we do, and I can't say for other people, is we get client work, but we also put money aside for R&D, prototyping, so that we're just constantly testing different ideas out. And that's pretty much what I think most people are doing aside there.
Yeah, I think it's essential. I mean, we're
Demos that are out there doing that.
even now at this early stage, there are some like best practice manual. We are all the time, like it's the best practice not to do that. And I'm like, well, says who? I'm going to try it, and then I'll decide whether it's because it's that new that I don't even trust the best practice manual. Somebody says I can't.
75 pages.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. It's basically it's all new. So the only way to really know for sure what works and what doesn't is just to get and do it. So even if it's you give yourself half a morning to just concentrate on one thing, like look out those triggers the way forward. You just concentrate on that problem, and then that is really enough time to push the, like you say, new ideas and the R&D side. It doesn't have to be massive, $100,000 projects. It can be a day's work.
Do many people have clients starting to inquire about this kind of application? A little.
And
I
there's
mean, I'd say,
I think it's such an
I
important
still
question.
don't, the amount of people that I come across, and still, I get out of field for cardboard.
But-
If I show 30 people the first weekend I had it, then everyone's like, no way, like, God, this is the most amazing thing.
that's the brilliant thing about it. I mean, as I said, we created, the company itself was creating virtual reality for 7-8 years,
Yeah.
and now that it's become more accessible, and now that people are starting to believe in it a lot more, everyone wants virtual reality, So in terms of convincing clients, they're already half convinced about virtual reality to a certain degree. I guess it's more about them believing in your realization of their idea. Some clients will come to us and say, we want virtual reality to do this project, and we say, virtual reality is not right for you. It's not achieving the solution you want, you just want to do it because it's virtual reality. It's the buzzword at the moment, but this is a technology, is a better solution. So that's not so bad for us because it shows that we're not just trying to take their money and deliver something, basically.
But you want to ultimately showcase work that you're proud of.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting paid for something that you know is not right.
Yeah. The worst thing is you have a client come to you saying, we want to use virtual reality, we want to use any technology. They come to you and say, well, we don't think you should, we think you should use this. And they say no, and then you build a project, and then we say, well, there's going to be these issues, and they go, we want to do it virtual reality. So, well, actually try changing this bit of the virtual reality to this. No, we want to do this, and then they get in the product, deliver exactly what they want to do. They're like, oh.
I think that's reality.